Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast. This is episode 9, and I'm here with my co-host, Zach, ZRPG. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm good.
Yeah. And today we are joined by a guest, Jay from 3killabytes. How are you doing, Jay?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Pretty
Great.
good. All right, so today we're going to, we don't have, I don't know how to really describe it. We don't have any, big topics, I guess, that we haven't
do.
already,
Oh, we do.
what we do.
I don't know. I don't
Oh
even know
no,
what
I
you're
think
talking about.
I was describing it wrong. But yes, now that
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know, I'm falling apart already. But I guess we can just jump into things with crap we've been doing segment. So
Wait.
what?
Wait.
Who?
No, I was just gonna say, Jay, I hope you don't mind. Like usually on podcasts they'd go in depth on the guest in the beginning, but since our main topic is kind of revolving around that, I think we should go in depth around there. So
Yeah, man. Whatever you guys want.
hmm Okay, so I guess we can start out on the first part of our segment, which is 4 most enjoyed channels. And the outline says Jay starts off, but Jay, do you want to start off or do you want to?
we don't speak about the outline.
Well, I'm
Breaking the
talking
fourth
about it.
Yeah, if you want me to, whatever you guys want.
Okay. So, do you want to start out with it? Or I guess you can.
You already answered.
Yes, I know. I'm dumb. All right, so
Yeah, I'll start out. So, four most enjoy. I can't even speak today either, guys. Four most enjoyed channels. Well, I think at the moment, obviously, I've been watching a lot of HappyConsoleGamer.
Yep.
Because of his movie. So I've been enjoying that. Even though he's going on a bit of a break now, I think he worked on the movie for 3 years straight, so
Yeah.
I think he deserves one. What else have I been checking out? Pete Dorr. Always watch Pete Dorr's new videos. I always love seeing what he's picked up and what he's excited about this week. And then probably Game Straight 81. I watch basically everybody from that podcast. Although I've never watched much of Heine's stuff, but Mel Jesus Rocks too. His I Hate Everything, I Hate You episodes, those are hilarious. So really, I think I've been spending a lot of time watching those channels lately. In terms of like community stuff, I don't know. I just got back from Banff. I was on a break, so I haven't been watching that much stuff. Usually, I watch a lot of like content created by the gaming community.
Yeah.
A lot of people send it in and ask me to check it out. So I'm a little bit behind on that. But yeah, those four are basically the channels that I watch.
Nice.
nice. All right, so I guess I can go next. And the 4 most enjoyed channels for me, well, first of all, obviously Happy Console Gamer because he put out his movie, like you said, Jay.
Mhm.
And other than that, not too much. There really hasn't been all that many videos, it seems like. But I was watching Mart Zero ZZ, which they do a lot of like covers for Zelda music and I've just been watching those because lately I've been into like dubstep, so I've been just listening to different like remixes and stuff of video game music because I think it sounds really cool. So I've been watching a lot of that, and I've also been watching The Amazing Atheist just because I don't know, I think he's entertaining. And other than that, Dinky Dana put up a video for a Commodore 64 game that he got. I watched
Yeah.
that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But Zach, what have you been watching?
The same one always. I've been mentioning him like
Yeah.
pretty much every episode. Video games awesome, far from subtle. Jason, have you ever watched this before?
Oh yeah, like Fraser and I are friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that's who I suggested when you're asking who you should collaborate with earlier. And but yeah, you mentioned he's hard to get in contact with.
Yeah. What's kind of funny is I don't think people sort of realize it, but it's sort of like, I don't know what you want to call it, but all like the directors that are, I guess you can call them bigger in the gaming community channel that have like 40,000 subs and above that, we all kind of we all talk to each other, believe it or not. It doesn't mean we collaborate, but I mean I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
All those people, but Fraser's probably the hardest person to get a hold of. So I don't really I haven't talked to him for like 8 months. So I have no idea what's going on, but I think he's got a habit of inviting everybody he's ever met onto the show.
Yeah.
I think his Johnny's been waiting as well. But maybe one day when I go fly out to see Johnny, I'll probably poke my head into Video Game Awesome, sit on the couch, finally get on that show.
Nice. Yeah, it's weird how it worked because they back when the community first started, it was awesome video games and everyone was talking about them. And they seemed to be really in the community, but now it seems like he's more distanced himself. I don't know if it was intentionally or not, but it seems like almost like he's not necessarily in the tight community anymore, even though people obviously are still aware of him. But
no, I agree with that. I think he gave up on YouTube a little bit because his live show is doing like extremely well. So he's just focusing on what's successful, which I can understand. So not to say he's not part of it still, but
yeah, I was just gonna say because he uses like that's basically his career, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So
well, no, he does like he does directing and other stuff, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's been pretty smart with like managing all that because if you look at it in the scope of things, like he doesn't have that many subscribers to where you'd usually be able to make a living off of it, but he has like these turbo memberships and things to be on the chats during the live streams, and he has obviously the live streams, and then he has tons of videos, so it's pretty smart with how he gets the revenue and everything. So yeah, that's him. I was just watching Heavy Rain, which I heard was probably the best one, and I can probably agree with that so far. I just finished watching their like whole playthrough of that, and then the Walking Dead, some of their Skyward Sword stuff, and a little bit of their Wii U stuff, where they were just like watching the conference stuff. But yeah, and then the other ones, they're really like only like 1 or 2 videos for each of them. And that's Josh Jepson, who's another Let's Player, more Rayman Origins from him, which has been really awesome. And JonTron, I don't know if you've heard of him, but I'm a huge fan of his, and he did a new video recently.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to him. I like his stuff.
Yeah. He's got really he's got really high production value stuff, and he's got great humor and everything. I love the humor of his videos. He's kind of similar to like the Angry Video Game Nerd with the whole cynical reviewer style, but he's really unique at the same time. It's like nothing like I've really watched before.
Yeah, he's very over the top.
Yeah.
But it's really entertaining.
Exactly. Lots of yelling and spinning text is basically his videos.
Yeah. So that's all you've been watching?
Well, the last one's HappyConsoleGamer. And maybe we should go into this now because pretty much everyone's been talking about the HappyConsoleGamer movie now. And since we've all watched it, I thought it'd be pretty interesting to talk about our thoughts. I know, Jason, you said you really loved it. And
yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, Cole, what do you think of it?
No, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was I thought it was a lot better than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was just expecting something more on the lines like of what his typical episodes are, but like no, it's an actual movie. So yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see more cameos because I really love the Gamester 81 and Chargeback Forward cameos.
Gamester 81 lost his balls.
Yes.
Yeah, I was desperate to get in the movie, but he was finished by the time
Yeah.
started collaborating with the music. But it was awesome. I got kind of a sneak preview of it a couple months ago. And just to see him release it for free is incredible. I mean, he could easily put it on DVD and all that stuff, or ask for donations. And I think a lot of people, now that they've seen it, would love to donate, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
So, actually, if you go to the HappyConsoleGamer.com, there's a donation button there. So, although he doesn't want people to donate really, because whatever, but I highly suggest, if you've seen the movie, donate like a few bucks, help him out. Spent 3 years on it and countless amounts of money. So, I mean, it's really good. I wasn't, again, I knew that he went to film school, and I knew that he had a little bit of a talent in filmmaking, but for them to like make that over 3 years on weekends is incredible. I mean, it takes a lot of effort. I don't think anyone would understand it unless they actually did it themselves. But I have some very close friends who, they made a low budget zombie movie that took like 7 years to make, so I understand what they went through. And then for him to turn around and make it free to the gaming community, just as like a thank you, is like, I don't think you're going to see any other channel do that. If 3killabytes made a movie, I think we could give it away for free, but we would also say like, hey, help us, if you want to donate. But he won't even do that. Like, he's just, it's ridiculous. I think he's lost his mind, but.
Yeah. I think he talked about he probably plans on making a DVD for it, which I definitely would really want to have. The same thing goes for the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, which obviously that's a lot higher budget, and I'm not actually as excited for it as I was for the Happy Console Gamer one, but I'd still want to have one of those too, just to have those like movies from the community, like physical copies would be really awesome.
Well, I know he's planning something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I know something about the soundtrack at least, but I don't know about necessarily what the DVD will include. Actually, I think the DVD. Well, I probably shouldn't talk about it. That's his top secret information.
Right.
I'll hint that I do know there's some cool stuff coming up for the movie, but I don't know when, so I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, what was your guys' favorite scenes?
I think. Well, go ahead if you got one.
No, I don't have one. I was just thinking.
I think for me, probably and when he says "until next time, dishes" is pretty funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
That made me laugh out loud. Just because I kind of know his girlfriend from like talking to him on Skype and the video now, like when he shows his girlfriend, that was hilarious because that's that she's basically like sort of like she's into the goth stuff, so it's funny that she's like a vampire in the closet. Obviously Game Straight 1. I really like the ending. It reminded me of Indiana Jones it reminded me of the warehouse where they store the Ark. Like the beginning of Indiana Jones 4. And yeah, like overall it was very smooth. Like it just went into each other well. And at the beginning when he's talking about like YouTube and he doesn't feel it anymore, I could totally relate to that sometimes. So stuff like that, and just I like the idea of what they came up with there, and with the console that never existed, and those video games they designed. Those video games are all designed, and they're like actual video games. Well, just one stage, but that was a lot of work. That was amazing to see.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
I think.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think he had somebody actually design all of those at once. So for them to like design those games, and they actually look like real retro old games. I think it's everything was amazing. Like I don't know if they could have I don't think they could do better based on what happened like over the 3 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite scenes though were like GameStar 81 losing his balls. That
yeah.
that was I wasn't expecting that. I'll just say that much. But when Johnny's friend was like, "Okay, Johnny, until next time, bitch." That was great. And then obviously like the till next time dishes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But Zach, do you have any
Uh-huh.
standout moments?
Yeah, obviously you mentioned a lot of them. Obviously it's only an hour, but
Hmm.
there was the one part I really liked I think it was Pinky Horse he was reviewing there
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
I really liked that. The pink
Yeah, it
shirt
was
and
hilarious.
everything.
I think this is like a dream sequence where
Yeah.
those two people come back in time and
Yeah, like a play on how he's always like positively reviewing stuff. He rarely does negative. Like I think he's only done 2 negative reviews or something like that.
And they ended up
yeah.
being positive. Well, at least games I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But yeah,
right.
really enjoyed it. So, guess now that we're done with that, the podcast we've been listening to. So I'll start us off here, and I've only listened to 2 podcasts so far this week, and that would be Red Rascals episode 27 with a vintage video game geek, him and
Mm.
his sexy voice and what have you, and it's not fair at all. His voice is like so perfect. I'm so jealous of it. But other than that, TV and Lust 93, that was kind of depressing. If
I
you
didn't
listen to it,
watch. I didn't listen to it. I don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
you'll
Depressing.
find out. But yep, that's all. That's actually all I've listened to.
Oh
Really,
yeah.
I haven't had a lot of time lately. It seems like. But
Right.
yes, I guess Zach, what have you been listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still behind. I still can't catch up. I've got like still. It's like a consistent. I've got 12 episodes to listen to. So if I keep at this rate, I'll be behind like 2 or 3 episodes on each podcast I listen to.
Mhm.
Like be watching them 2 or 3 weeks late. But I watched Rad Rascals episode 25 to put that into perspective when you watched 27.
Yeah.
But that was with Gamester 81. That was a pretty good one. But I felt like Gamester 81 didn't talk all that much during that episode, which was weird. And Operation Killscreen episode 80, which I'm pretty sure they're at episode 82 to put that into
I think
perspective.
they're at 81.
Oh,
I
are they?
think.
I
Yeah.
thought they recently put one out. I'm not
I think they're
sure.
putting up 82 tonight.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then I started TV and Lust episode 90, which is 3 episodes behind as well. So I'm still not even finished that one. So it's just I need to play like more games where you can just have podcasts on in the background. That way I can
Hmm.
power through a lot more of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's all for now. Jay,
Mhm.
how about you?
Actually, I haven't listened to anything because I was on
Yeah.
vacation. I was too
Yeah.
busy climbing mountains.
Climbing, mounting. That sounds
Are there?
dangerous.
Yeah, I was in the Rockies on
Oh,
glaciers and
that's
stuff like
cool.
that.
Hmm.
That's cool.
It was insane, like 1,000-foot glaciers.
Hmm.
So that's what I was doing.
Are there any podcasts you usually listen to weekly or anything?
Well, obviously I listen to All Gen Gamers, and for the last couple of months I actually haven't been listening to much because I've been planning my own sort of podcast. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like I needed to sort of start one because, well, Billy from the Game Chasers and I always talk about starting one, so I think we're going to start one. So it's probably going to be Billy and I talking about video games, but
Nice.
probably a little bit more uncensored because I feel like everyone starts a retro gaming show or just a video game podcast, and it's almost like people are afraid to say what they truly feel like certain
Hmm.
things in the gaming community. And I feel like I'm
Huh.
just gonna say what I feel like saying, and if people don't like it, then they don't have to listen. So
Hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
that's the sort of that's what that podcast is going to be about, coming on and just being honest instead of just covering stuff up,
Yeah.
and also expanding the the gaming community and talking about channels and whatnot. So I'm excited for that.
Definitely,
Yeah, I know
I'll
what you
definitely
mean
watch.
when you're saying that you don't want to or talk about like holding yourself back. I can
Mhm.
definitely like understand like why some people do that, I guess. Just trying not to start e-drama, but that'd be cool if you actually did that cuz yeah, you're right. Like not a lot of people do that. They don't really,
See, it's
at
not.
least I feel like they hold back.
Yeah, really. It's not. It's not like I want to go and attack people. Like I'm not
Mhm.
going to.
Games of War.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm going to go there and say like, oh, I listened to this and it was shit. It's not about like giving a poor review on something because there's lots of stuff out there that can be amazing or it can also be poor, and I don't really need to talk about because I have a review show. So it's more like just be honest. So if somebody does something really stupid, and I feel like people, you know, need to know about it, then that's what that would be about.
Mhm.
For instance, like when Woody's gamer tag says some stupid shit on his show, I feel like I'm baffled on how he still has the support. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hmm.
And he's like
Yeah.
he's massive, and he says like some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard on YouTube, and
Yeah.
and just people ignore it. So it's just stuff like that. People don't want to bring it up because they're afraid or whatnot. And I really don't care because you know if he wasn't doing negative things, then I wouldn't really need to talk about him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely
Okay.
looking forward to that. I'll listen to it for sure. Just let me know when you have it up.
Yeah, man. Excited for that. I'm not sure when, but we're
Hmm.
working on it.
Yeah, there's this one podcast I think you should listen to. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast. It's it's okay, but Cole, have you ever heard that one before?
I'm pretty
Sorry, what
sure
was that?
I have heard of it. Yeah.
What
I
was
was
that, Cole?
I was just interrupted. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said he should listen to this podcast called the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast.
What? I heard that was crap though.
Yeah.
It's got a really good name, I have to admit. If
Thank you.
Yeah.
if I ever wanted to steal something, it would be that.
Mhm.
No, I'm gonna recommend episode 8 when that comes out on Wednesday. No, that was an interesting episode. But
Yeah, episode 4 is really good too, though. And a
I'm
lot of
not.
them were. Episode 7 was.
Hmm.
Episode 6 was.
Apparently not episode 3. Apparently I've heard that somewhere.
What? Don't be
Batsa, I'm
mean.
talking about you. All right, but okay.
All right. I
So I
guess
guess
that's it
now,
for that.
yeah, is it games now?
It's game
Yes, it is.
time.
So Zach,
Mhm.
what have you been playing?
It's only been just to let everyone else know, just break the fourth wall right now. It's only been 4 days since the last podcast, even though that's most of the week technically, but still, I haven't played much. Just Room Factory, Tides of Destiny. I've been playing more of that. I'm still enjoying that. I just haven't been playing much of it at all. I want to get back to it, but I've just been doing a lot of school
Mhm.
stuff, and then there's ideas for the podcast I had that I'm trying to work on, and other stuff in the community. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's literally the only game I
Mhm.
have.
That's it? Okay.
Yep.
Well, Jay, what have you been playing?
Well, when I got back from the trip, Mike was like, "You have to play Borderlands 2," and to be honest, I played like 10 minutes of Borderlands 1, and for some reason, I hated it. Because I don't think I was paying attention at the time. This is years ago. So we reviewed it, and during the review, I kept listening to him, and he was like, "Oh, it's amazing. You got to play it." So I started playing it, um,
Hmm.
and I probably in the last 2 days put like 25 hours into it.
That's it?
Yeah, I got to. Well, there's other stuff that I'm working on my new album, so.
Hmm.
But Borderlands 2 is incredible.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I still haven't beaten the first one, so I'm just kind of like, well, what's the point for me to get it if I can just play this one? Because I hear it's not that different. I hear it's very similar to the first. So
Yeah, it
after I beat
doesn't.
the, yeah,
I don't think it's that. I don't think. Yeah, it's just another new story. But
hmm
I mean, if you haven't played Borderlands, I highly suggest to play the series. It's like Mad Max, cartoon version of Mad Max meets first person shooter meets RPG. It's just very addictive because you're always going all over the map and collecting different weapons. And I think it's really, if this game only had like 6 or 7 weapons, it would be horrible. But this game has over, I don't know what the stat is, thousands and thousands of different guns, and the abilities on the guns, the mods, everything that you can do with these guns, that's what makes the game unique. And it's just addictive because every room you go into, you never know if you're going to get a shitty gun or a gun you're going to be using for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So for me, that's just been incredible.
Yeah, it's a good game to play with a podcast or listen to a podcast.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
I mean the whole grinding thing,
Yeah, because it's you don't have to put that much into it because it's just just aiming and shooting and then collecting. It's not like you're listening to the story that much. So I totally agree with that. Pop on like a podcast and you can play it.
Yeah, that's what I was doing with Borderlands 1 while I was grinding, but yeah, I need to get back to it.
I've only played an hour or two of Borderlands. I should play more of it. Like since you said that it's good for a podcast, I was just saying I need a game that I can do that with. So
Yeah.
I'll have to get back. I only recently got it too. I got it in August for my birthday, so I should. I haven't had that much time to play it, so that's why. All right, Jay, continue.
Other games I've been playing, that's it.
All right.
Just step back. I know that Resident Evil 6 is on its way here, which I'm kind of scared about. Who knows? And as for games, that is probably it. I'll probably drop another 40 hours this week into Borderlands 2.
Nice.
So, I guess what I've been playing now? All right.
Yeah, have you been playing more than one game, Cole? We'll see. We've each been only playing one.
Let's see. I really haven't. Yeah, like you said, I haven't really played that much. The biggest, standout title is The Legend of Zelda on NES. Actually, I've been playing it now on my 3DS, and I don't know why. I just kind of feel like playing it again because I was thinking maybe I could replay like every Zelda game kind of thing, just because I don't know, just I don't know.
That's never gonna work out.
It's not going to at all. I'm gonna get tired by like the 5th dungeon or level 5, but that's what I'm attempting to do right now.
What happened to you loving Skyward Sword? What happened to this? What happened to you loving Skyward Sword?
I don't know. Skyward Sword. I'm very OCD about the. Oh, I don't know. OCD maybe.
OCD.
Wrong set of words. I'm very on and off about it. Just because one minute I love it, one minute I hate it, and so on and so forth. And overall, like I like it, but it's just not pulling me in like the other Zelda games have. So we'll see where that goes. I don't want to be too hard on it before I beat it, because obviously opinions can change. So I'll leave it at that. The only other game I've been playing was Balloon Fight on the 3DS, because it's kind of like my go-to 3DS casual game, I guess you could say. Just because it's very simple, it's very it's also very fun, but it's just very pick up and play. It's basically one button. So yep, that's all I've been playing. Not too much, but it's still been fun. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Nice. All right. So it looks like we're done with that segment. On to the news. Do we have any news?
Yes, there is. So, first one I want to talk about is that Muramasa the Demon Blade, it's going to be ported to the PlayStation Vita. So, basically, Vanillaware is going to take my money twice for one game. But the screenshots have been released, and it looks really good. So, to play Muramasa basically in HD, that I'm really looking forward to that. And the only other news I have is Borderlands 2 sold 1.8 million, which is, that's it. But 1.8 million, that's a lot more than I was expecting. And more than half of it was on the 360. So,
Of course, yeah.
yep, that's the go-to platform. But yeah, that's all I have.
Nice.
Yep.
I haven't even played Muramasa yet. My brother recently got it, so we have it. But yeah, there's a lot of games he got, and we still need to play, like Monster Hunter Tri. A lot of the must-have Wii games we haven't played yet.
Yeah, like Murumasa, it's basically just a Metroidvania type of game. Not a little bit more action based and platform based, but it's still really good. The graphics are great. The RPG elements are cool. How you also kind of how you upgrade your blades and all that. So
All right. Cole, are you there? Because it kind of went silent there.
yeah, someone walked in. Press mute for a second.
You scared?
What?
That's what the mute's for.
Yep.
All
No,
right.
I didn't want to have anyone talk over the podcast. They're gone though. They are going somewhere.
And
So no more interruptions. Yep.
I only have one thing of news, but it's just like a really tiny thing I just found right before the podcast. And that's that the PlayStation Vita, they said, is definitely going to have a price drop next year, though. Not this year, but they're going to have one next year.
Yeah.
So that's
And
something.
I wonder how much they're going to drop the price eventually, because I'm sure like the Vita is very expensive to put out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're making a loss on that hardware. Because if it's basically PS3 in your hands and it has its own built-in screen, I'm sure it's not a cheap piece of hardware to put out. So
Yeah, the 3DS is making a loss, though, is it not? Because
some people say that, some people say that, and some don't. So I'm not really sure. Some sources are, I don't know.
Was that
But
for a price drop?
what was that?
What?
So you're talking about a price drop on 3DS?
Oh
On
no,
the
the
Vita next year.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna have one before then, so it doesn't really matter. Plus, the Assassin's Creed bundle comes with Assassin's Creed 3 3 Liberation for free. So that's basically $40 off the original price anyways. So that's good for me, I guess then. But is that it for news? Is there not
Yep.
really? Okay.
So now we can go into
What?
our main topic, which
Main
is
topic.
basically, it's not a huge one, but we just wanted to kind of talk about the gaming community and YouTube, primarily YouTube, but obviously it spawns out of that too, and kind of how we got into the community maybe, and definitely want to talk about Jay's channel too, obviously 3killabytes, how that came to be. So Jay, do you want to start us off? Tell us how you got into the community in general, and maybe how you were kind of inspired to start 3killabytes.
I think in the beginning we Mike and I always played a lot of video games together growing up. And it's not really a special story. We got into paranormal activity early, and we were like, we should film this, we should film like a review of it and put it up. And at the time, I was with Kat, and we were just like, hey, the three of us should just do this show together. And I forget which one of us came up with the name, but we went and saw the movie and just filmed it and put it up, edited. It's the worst episode ever, and put it up. What a horrible beginning! And then
you
it
still
got
have that?
yeah, well, it got 10,000 views, which is just ridiculous because I guess it was early, and that's how it started. And then Philip DeFranco wanted to start his own sort of gaming channel thing, which sort of failed miserably, called like Totally Awesome. And he asked us to host it at one point, and we said no, and we just carried on with their own thing. So that's when we really got a lot of viewers, because we got onto his show called The Quad, and that's when we got a ton of viewers, like subscribers overnight, like 3,000, and now it's been like 3 years. We're up to like 40, almost 41,000. So it's nuts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's it. It's just been crazy, and then just collaborating with people over the years, and just I really enjoy watching a lot of YouTube stuff. Mike doesn't really watch as much as I do. I'm more of the guy that keeps us in contact with everyone.
Yeah, obviously I've expressed that I'm a big fan of 3killabytes and everything on
Thanks.
Twitter, but yeah, I really love your reviews, but I've even started to like more of like the creation craft is really awesome. Well done.
Oh, thank you. That was a lot of work in one day. We filmed that,
Yeah.
and it took 9 hours to film all of it straight. And then Mike is an incredible editor. So
Yeah.
it turned out really well.
When is Battlecraft supposed to be released here?
Well, the guys are working on the map right now. I think they've got 2 more weeks. I think, yeah, probably about 2 weeks. And then we're going to go through the challenges and make sure everything's legit, make sure everything's working, and then we're going to take 1 week to find the actual contestants online, and then we're going to film it.
Nice.
I think this time around we probably bring on some guest judges like Guns for Hire, and I'm working on Sly Foxhound. See if we can get him in there.
Are you gonna have any parts where the hosts vote anymore?
Of what? Sorry?
Any parts where the hosts vote? Because I remember at the end, near the end, there was a part where it came down to you and Mike had to put a vote down. But I feel like that would be weird if you had people like Sly Fox or Guns for Hire, which you obviously know really well, if you were to have votes like that anymore.
No, I don't think that'll happen again. We just wanted to throw it into Creation Craft as like a...
Yeah.
Because it was sort of our show, but we never voted. So we felt like, hey, we're going to do this one. But Battlecraft is all about the audience and the Minecraft community. So all we're doing is hosting it and moving it along. So I don't think we'll have any sort of say. It's going to actually be the audience is voting. I just mean that like we're going to have guest hosts and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And yeah, I don't even play Minecraft. I've wanted to for the longest time, but I still have yet to even play it. But I still
it's an addiction
thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah. It's an addiction. It like sometimes for months on end, I spend like days just playing it, and then for months I don't even touch it because I'm sick of it. But which is currently right now. I'm currently hating it, but I have to get back into it because I have to make sure the maps and everything work.
Yeah, it's strange how much it is blown up on YouTube. It seems like everyone's doing Minecraft, but how enjoyable it is, even if you don't play Minecraft. So, like, I've heard people who are huge fans of Minecraft even say that it's more enjoyable to them to watch Minecraft than to play it.
Well, that's true, because I think playing it it's kind of like playing with Lego with your friends. And at some points you try to build something and it doesn't work out, and you're just like, screw this, and then you quit the game. But when people make amazing content to actually watch, like an actual television show, I think it's interesting because you get to sort of know the people playing and whatnot. So that's why we actually decided to do the show because Guns asked us to do it. So we had the idea, and he was like, if you don't do it, I'm going to do that idea. So we did it before he did it.
Yeah, oh shoot, I forget what I was gonna say, but like it feels like I've started to like kind of really turn away or against like a lot of the single player videos of Minecraft. It seems like it's really where the game shines is with collaborations and like working together to create something huge. Like I find it so boring now to watch people like with their tutorial videos on just normal survival. Just the unique things people have done with it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like the evolution of anything. After a while, people just get sick of what it is, and then they try to develop something that's sort of unique. So what we're doing, I wouldn't say is unique, but I haven't really seen that many people doing it. At least when we recorded it, we were one of the, I guess, the first. But Guns for Hire started the whole Survivor Craft. But I think a couple weeks before he did that, um, there was like a poorly done Hunger Games thing. Machinima did it.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was just not good. So, you know, if you're gonna do it right, and that's what we are trying to do with the show. I mean, we could put a lot more time into it, but it's sort of like just do it proper and have fun doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna do with Battlecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many copies of Minecraft sold so far. Because I mean, I know on the Xbox it's already sold 4 million, which is ridiculous. But
it's probably up to like it's probably getting close to 10 million in total, which is you know, which is spectacular for Notch and all his glorious money. But good luck coming up with anything else that is this successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, nothing against them, but I mean, when you talk about Notch and like the creator of Minecraft, I'm not really a fan of his. You know what I mean? Just like his Twitter comments he says sometimes, and just the stuff he says. He just sounds like a cocky guy. Like, oh, I made a famous game. Well, whatever.
You've heard it here first. Jay hates Notch.
Yeah, I don't think it was here first. I think I probably said it before.
Oh,
maybe I have. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just some guy who made a video game.
Yep. Yeah, I'm very curious to see though how his next project turns out. What's it called? 0xC3 or something like that. Something like that. It's I'm very curious to see how that turns out, and I don't know. It'll choose it or determine if Mohang is going to be like a successful developer, I guess, for the years to come.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you know, I think they're going about it all completely wrong. I mean, when you have something so successful, I mean, this only happens maybe once every generation, like almost not every generation, but every like 10 years, something this successful comes along that's independent. You know, I don't know, he's on two different pages. Like he hates Microsoft, but he also agreed to put the game on the system because it meant more money. You know, like we don't have to hide the facts that, you know, he's 3 million copies on Xbox Live Arcade. That's a lot of money he's made. So, I mean, he didn't have to put it on there if he didn't like Microsoft's choices so much. So lately he's been talking about not putting Minecraft on Windows 8. You know, I think he's just saying that now because it doesn't matter because he's already made millions of dollars off of Xbox. So he probably doesn't make that much money from Microsoft anymore. So it doesn't really matter to him. But yeah, I think they should be focused on Minecraft 2 or some sort of like major expansion to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what could they do because they already have like all the mods. Like in terms of graphics, there's like a realistic graphics mod. There's like I don't really know if they can make Minecraft 2 unless they were to like incorporate all the mods in like an Xbox version of the game or something. But
yeah, I think part 2, like the giant leap that they'll have to do, is more of an actual
narrative.
Yeah, narrative to the not necessarily the story, but more of different aspects of the game that are more focused. Because yes, I mean, it's an open world game. You can do anything, and that's what's really special about the game. But for instance, like multiplayer is incredible building things together, but if you look at like micromanaging things, I think it would be exciting to actually be able to micromanage a lot more of the game. For instance, people love like building, like the people love building the farms, right? And having like
Yeah.
the chickens, the cows, and all that stuff. Imagine like Minecraft 2, it took it to the next step where if you are going to be the farmer, then that's really your job, and you're in charge of like micromanaging
Ah,
everything, and
yeah.
to like
Yeah.
to the point of like going out collecting the seeds and then planting them properly. You know what I mean? Like making sure they're watered and all that sort of stuff. Instead of because right now it's just if you think about it, it's actually a quite simple game if you're going to make something.
Mhm.
But I'm just trying to think like if they took it to the next step, they could make all of these certain things sort of more realistic. You know what I mean? Like if you end up going into the biome, say the winter biome, it should be freezing there. You know what I mean? You should have different armor or different clothing like fur. You know what I mean? They really take it to a next step. I think that's what they'll need to do to make a part 2 if they ever do that.
Mhm.
Graphically, I don't think it needs to be anything better than it is. Maybe a little bit sharper, but other than that, again, that's what I'd personally like to see because I think that's where could become very unique.
Yeah, just add like RPG elements or something.
Exactly, totally.
Yeah.
Like actually have chests that have different weapons in it, opposed to just a sword and an arrow. Like
Yeah.
imagine they opened it up to have unlimited weapons. People could create weapons that
Or
actually do
even,
different.
oh, I'm sorry, I was just gonna say like
Oh, go ahead.
maybe even make an MMO out of it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. Like, what if they added vehicles and there was like a mechanic and your job was to go out there and just build cars and that's it. But
Hmm.
have that just that one little portion be as deep as Minecraft itself is. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe
Yeah,
there's
that's
like a
right.
there could be a hospital and there could be basically anything that's in real life, like a bakery. If you could design things, if he could come up with a system that would allow you to get that deep into the game, I think Minecraft would be, I think it would be much bigger, much bigger because you'd find that's why people are creating those mods, right? Because they want it to be deeper. But I've always said to Mike, like a game like this, if he just threw in some weapons, it would turn into like the ultimate sort of paintball match because you get like two teams, they build their huge bases on each side, and if you can make it destructible with weapons, that would be another whole layer to Minecraft that would just be incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah, multiplayer would be like almost like a Call of Duty where you make your own maps or something. That would be
Yeah,
really cool.
like imagine playing this but it was Battlefield 3, you know what I mean? Like having vehicles and all this like army stuff going on in the Minecraft world. Or actually having a vehicle where you can pick up like 6 guys and go across the water in a boat that has, guns on it and that sort of thing. And I also think the inventory system, they could really, if it goes online, imagine you can bring your inventory with you, like your sack, almost like
Mhm.
Legend of Zelda and all your tools and stuff.
Hmm.
Then it would become almost like DayZ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know
Imagine,
if you can sort of be friends with them or not. So I think I'm going on ranting about it, but hopefully that's what they do.
yeah, I just want to say one more thing. I remember seeing another indie game that was based off Minecraft. It was called, I believe it was called Starforge, where it's basically Lost Planet mixed with Minecraft, where you can like make blocks and stuff, but it looks just like you're killing giant monsters. I'll try to find the video and
Hmm.
put it in the chat, but yeah, I guess now where are we?
But how exactly would that work with if you're like with your friends or whatever? Would you be doing the same jobs, or would it be like you said, like an MMO where everyone's doing their separate tasks all in the same world?
Well, I think what would make it unique is you could do either of what you said. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, say you and your friend want to start a farm. I think if you work together, it would benefit you. You know what I mean? You'd be able to build the farm up a lot
Yeah.
quicker, especially if they micromanage the farms in certain ways, like to be actually able to build a hen house, put the chickens in there, and actually collect the eggs and have sort of a point to the eggs. You know what I mean? And like and they have a point to like breeding horses or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then you can actually sell them online. Imagine that. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It would. All right, so we're still in the main topic, totally talking about the gaming community here. Jay, is there like any specific channel that you first watched that was what got you to notice the community itself?
No, actually, not for me. I don't think there is anything that I actually watched in the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, I try to think back 3 years ago because 3 years is a long time, and I guess the problem for me is now that almost everyone I talk to always wants me to check out their stuff, and I always, most of the time, I will. So
Hmm.
I've seen so much content over the years that I can't. I don't. The lines are beginning to blur. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's difficult for me to remember.
Yeah, I still have the same problem. And you started 2009, right?
Hmm.
I'm
Actually,
looking at your.
yesterday was a 3 year anniversary on the dot of when we started the actual channel.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hmm.
So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I got in, I guess technically earlier than you then, because August 2009 was when I first saw the community in general. Because before then, obviously, I'd love to play video games and everything.
Hmm.
We always grew up, my family, with it, but I never really took them that seriously or thought that deeply about them, or
Hmm.
that they could grow into this kind of community thing. But that really has changed my life in a way, that just seeing the community. I was like, I think I was 12 at the time when I first got there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 12.
12.
That's amazing. Well, actually,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know this. Here's just some exclusive news, but I had a YouTube channel on YouTube in like 2005 when it first started.
Hmm.
So, trying to think, I forget that whatever I named it, but I mean, I've been on YouTube since it started. I just didn't start
Yeah.
into the gaming community until 2009.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first channel I think I subscribed to was a channel called Alex Demoted. I think I mentioned this before, but seems like not a lot of people nowadays don't know who he is, but he was huge back then, and
Hmm.
he'd do flea market videos, stuff like that, which is kind of common now, but it was really unique at the time. And just the normal stuff that might not have actually been that special, but since it's the first time I saw it, it was something completely new. Just him showing his collection or talking about the systems and stuff he picked up.
Hmm.
But the reason he's kind of fallen off the map, I think, was there was one time where his channel was hacked at one point. That's when YouTube was like really unreliable. I saw a lot of channels getting hacked back then. They still do, but not as frequently. And yeah, he started up a little bit, but I think he just kind of lost the inspiration after that. He's still on Twitter and everything, and he puts sporadic videos out, so I know he's still alive, but
Hmm.
not as into it as he used to be.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think that that first generation of YouTubers, um, I don't think people realize, but in like 2005 all the way until 2008, there was like massive YouTubers that are now gone.
yeah,
So it's amazing to see. I think like Philip DeFranco might be one of the last people who are like from that generation who are actually huge.
hmm.
Um, I used to watch this channel called Blunty 3000.
Hmm.
You heard of him?
Nope.
I haven't.
So, so that's what's sort of funny about it because he was like huge. Well, back in the day he was huge, but
Yeah.
not so much anymore. Not since he beat his girlfriend up.
Ooh.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't watch him anymore because of that, but that's a whole
Ooh.
different show.
See, it's just amazing looking back at how much it's grown since then.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everyone talks about this all the time, how you used to be able to count the amount of people that were in the community. Now it's just like so oversaturated with channels, and now podcasts have really blown up in the past couple of years too. That they're everywhere, and it's hard to notice them now. But obviously, I ran into Pete Dorr. His game room tour is what I first saw, and then obviously that led to everything. And then I joined Pete's game room forum a few months after it was created, and that's kind of been the hub around where a lot of the community goes now.
Yeah, he's smart. I tried to build forums, but Mike never understood them, so we deleted them.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And Cole, I know you were a little more recent, but when did you get into it?
Well, I really would just say that I'm only well, I was watching like their videos in 2009. Like the only one I can really recall though is Gamester. But Pete Dorr, I would say about maybe 2010, 2000, early 2011. But like when I first started listening to the podcast, that's kind of where I started off with the community, I would say. Because basically how it worked for me, I've explained this a couple times, but I started watching The Angry Video Game Nerd from him and his favorites box or favorites playlist. I found Retro Gamer 3 through his DVD review. And through Retro Gamer 3, I found Operation Kill Screen with Jumbo Junkie, Togging My Lens, and Sinister Moon. And through that, I found All Gen Gamers, which kind of led me to this entire community. And that was when they first started. So that was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And yeah, before that, I mean, I've been on YouTube since early 2008. So I kind of evolved with it. You know, I remember when the first YouTube layout was like changed, and you know, I just remember a lot of the previous things. But in terms of the gaming community, yeah, I'm definitely more recent. But it's been fun. It's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but now I would almost say it's more like the Pete's Game Room forum community. I know I was telling you that on Twitter, I think, but yeah, it's just the community's evolved a lot since then. So
Yeah.
it's a very different place or thing.
Yeah, there's tons of amazing people that I met through it, and I remember when first starting 2009, it was like very rare to see someone like my age on there, but because it was like just Matt 456, which we had on episode 5. He was like the first one of the first really young people at the time, and then I came in and we were kind of the only ones. But now it's just like there's so many young people getting exposed to this stuff that's it's not rare at all or special at all anymore. It's common just to see you'll see 13-year-olds and then 28-year-olds all just coexisting fine.
Which is really weird. I really wouldn't expect that, but I guess
It's
it
weird.
works out. Yeah, I remember Broland. Oops, I'm sorry.
Exactly. I was gonna say Broland, but go ahead.
Yeah, Broland. I remember he was saying, I can't remember if it was on Red Rascals or Twitter, but I remember he said that he's surprised that a lot of people that he talks to regularly, like on Twitter and the forums, are a lot younger.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just goes to show you that there's very different demographics, I guess, that are in the community, which is very interesting.
Well, yeah,
You
for
wouldn't think
sure.
that. Yeah, for retro gaming, it's cool.
Well, I'm 31 years old, so I'm sure it's sometimes I don't realize I'm talking to like to such a different age group. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, you're almost double our age now, and Broland is double our age now, so.
I know,
Yeah.
because like I talked to Johnny Millennium, and he's like 50 years older than I am, and it's weird. So.
How old is Johnny anyway?
He's like 34 or 37. I can't remember. Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. He's older than me. Because he talks about some crazy 1980s shit. And I was born in '81, so he's definitely. I mean, I think maybe Gamester 81 is probably the same age as him.
Is he?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I don't know.
He might be younger. I don't know. Oh, he might
Well,
be.
he's
I don't
Gamester
know.
81 because he was born in 81.
Oh yeah,
So.
Oh, so he's the same age as me. Never mind.
he is. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of 30s, but yeah, it seems like that's kind of the average age. 30 or 25 to 30 seems to be the average age.
Yep, a lot of people that grew up with the NES. Makes me feel young, which isn't cool.
Obviously, you should feel young anyway. But it's weird that like a lot of people would never be able to appreciate this stuff if it weren't for this community starting, and so that's really good. We would be only playing Call of Duty and Halo right now if it weren't for them. Well, no, I wouldn't. But
well, Zach, I wanted to ask you, what got you into retro games? Not specifically the community, but just the actual games.
Well, technically, which is weird, I talked about this when I answered one of the Rad Rascals questions a long time ago. Like most people my age have started with like maybe the N64 or the GameCube, and then mine was weird because I started off with the Super Nintendo, which is what like a lot of 20 to 30-year-olds say, and I guess you're just kind of a little behind always, but it seems like a lot of people are behind like the cycle of systems. So then like a little bit afterwards, we got the N64 and then the GameCube, and we just moved right up Nintendo stuff. And aside from obviously the technically retro games that I've played through that, it was again only the game community that was the only thing that got me into that. I would never know about I never would have known about the Atari 2600, Commodore 64, or anything like that if I didn't go on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what got me into it. I was inspired by them to go play the stuff. That's why I've got the 2600, but it's not working, and I went off into the Xbox and Sega Saturn and PlayStation and stuff like that.
That's cool.
How about you?
For me, actually, what it got me into retro games. Well, this is going to be kind of weird, but it was actually Golden Sun: The Lost Age on the Game Boy Advance. Mainly because I used to watch, YouTube a lot, but when it was still very young, and I remember it was actually ScrewTac, their top like 20 Super Nintendo games, I'm pretty sure it was. Because I was aware through that, I was kind of aware that a lot of Super Nintendo games were ported to that system, and I thought Golden Sun: The Lost Age was like one of the greatest games ever made. So I was just kind of like, wow, there's an entire console of games just like this, and my dog is whining.
I hear that. I thought it was a door creaking.
No, but as I walk away, but basically that's what it got me into it. I was just kind of curious to see like what was on this console, and through that I picked up like Mega Man X, F-Zero, Final Fantasy IV. So that's kind of like how I got myself into it, which is weird. I guess it was in some ways by YouTube, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted. I always thought that the best games were on like the Super Nintendo and older consoles because they had such high reception. So yeah, that's kind of how I started out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is that it? All we want to say for this main topic?
I guess so. I don't have any more to add.
All right, so Nintendo Talk then.
Nintendo Talk.
All right, Jay, you want to start us off? I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Wii U too. We can do that if you want, because you've actually been able to play it.
Yeah, cool. I after E3, Nintendo went on tour with the Wii U, and I got a chance to play it for like 3 or 4 hours. So I'm extremely excited that I have it pre-ordered. paid in full, of course. Deluxe package. So I think that what I'm most excited about is still to find out what the online modes are, because we have no idea at this point. And I'm hoping it's as good as at least the PS3 online mode. So I mean that's I'm also kind of worried, but because it's kind of interesting. There's no microphones or anything announced for online, so I do know that obviously the controller has a microphone in it and a speaker. So I know, but that's still going to be a little weird. I think they could do like some cool things with the controller for like the mute button and to be able to like push a button and just talk to certain people. For instance, like your team, or set it up custom. But I hope that we see some sort of headset that works with a controller at least. But then I started thinking about it, and I realized you can actually just plug your headphones into it. So as long as the microphone on that controller is good, I think we're going to be. I don't know. I kind of just contradicted myself there, answered my own question, but it's kind of like I want to see a cool headset. I want Nintendo to do that, but in another regard, I don't want to spend money on it. So to be able to just plug in a headset and have the microphone on the controller like that, as long as it picks up as good as a typical controller, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope that, I mean, obviously we're going to find out right off the bat if it's worth it or not with Black Ops 2. So I think we got just over 2 months to wait, or just under 2 months. And I don't know. Are you guys excited about Wii U?
I'm very excited.
Definitely. Yeah, we expressed this on episode 7. We were talking all about it. I said I really would like to have a pre-order, but I just don't have the money right now. But I'm gonna definitely ask. It's gonna be like the only thing I ask for on Christmas. I'm hoping I'm gonna get that then. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to what Nintendo can do. Obviously, I want to support Nintendo the most, so I pretty much vowed that from now on, any game that appears on, like a multi-platform game that appears on the Wii U, I'll get it on the Wii U over any of the other systems, pretty much, just to support them. Exactly.
Well, you know what? I was actually thinking about this. Let's talk graphics for a second. Let's just pretend the graphics are. Well, actually, let's be honest here. It's supposed to run 1080p, like actual 1080p, which is better than the other two systems. So, let's say Black Ops 2, even if it's even if that's all it has, it just runs 1080p, and that Pro controller that they have works just as good as an Xbox controller. There's and the online. So I mean, I'm going on, but as long as it has that stuff and it's good, there's no reason not to always just buy it on Wii U, because graphically you're going to get the best image, and then on top of it, that controller has abilities that the other ones won't, at least for a while. So, I mean, there's no reason not to buy it on Wii U when it comes out on launch, especially if it does have better graphics and it's the same price. There's no reason not to just do it. But a lot is riding on the online. I think the reason we haven't seen anything on the online is because either A, it's really good and they've nailed it, or B, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. So it's Nintendo does not have a good track record for online, that's for sure.
No.
But I have to say, like, Mario Kart Online has always been good. You know what I mean? And they've always ran that. Especially on the 3DS, it runs well. Like, the online mode on the 3DS runs well. The only thing they don't get right is the actual interface that we would use to get online and offline.
Yeah.
So I pray that this Me universe is not connected to it. I hope that, yes, obviously you'll be able to create like a Me character and blah, 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 and it's all cute and fancy and whatever, but as long as I can have a friends list and have a room where I can bring people into, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? And also with the gamer tag. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I don't even care if you can download demos on the system or whatever. As long as you can play games online and it works properly, I think I'll be happy with that. But if they go in above and beyond and actually, well, I know they're going to try to offer demos and whatnot, but I think that leads me into the actual hard drive. And I think what people are what's sort of misleading here is when people design a system, even Sony and everyone else, they think, how can we cut corners to what can we cut out to save money, right? So obviously when you buy a system, it doesn't come with a television because everyone has a television. So I think Nintendo was smart when they said, hey, we don't really need to put a massive hard drive in these systems because you can plug in a USB drive, and that's where they can store all their demos and whatnot. And I'm sure you guys both have USB drives, or you have some sort of, you know what I mean? Even a thumbstick could hold, like 8 gig thumbstick is what, $10 nowadays? You can get like a 32 one for like $30. So just plug it in and that's your storage. So I think they're smart when they decided, hey, just use that technology, because if they put in these bigger hard drives, it would just up the cost of the system. You know what I mean? So I think they went really smart there, but I think they've just managed that poorly. They haven't really explained it enough to the audience that that's sort of a big feature.
Yeah, I bought like the 250 gigabyte Xbox 360, and I still have tons of gigabytes left. I've only used like barely any of it, just a fraction of it. So
see, I think at most, you need like a 40 gig. You know what I mean? Unless you're buying games every day, like on the Vita. I have a Vita, and I usually buy the games the day they come out downloadable, because it's it's a chunk of change cheaper than actually going out to the store. And I've noticed, unless you're doing that sort of thing, you don't need a giant hard drive, because usually when you download a demo, you play it and you're like, okay, that was great, but most people delete it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if you just pop in like a 12, 24 gig stick, or even a hard drive, just a USB hard drive into the system and format it for the system, you'll be good forever. You know what I mean? It's not going to cost you that much. So I think people that are complaining about the hard drives, I think they are just being silly.
Yeah, really all you need is 32 gigs. I mean, I even have the Wii, and it has like what? It doesn't even have, I want to say something, I don't know, I'm trying to recall like how much memory.
I think it equals like 4 gigs or something, maybe.
Yeah, it's something like very minuscule.
It's not even that. I think it's smaller. But yeah, the point is that, it didn't have demos though, but it is, it's huge for what they needed. So I think they're on the right track here, and I also think that they have a hard drive up their sleeves that they're going to officially announce at some point, that you can buy separate, that just plugs into the USB. And the reason they're doing it this way is to just, hey, our console's cheap off the bat, but if you're a hardcore gamer, guess what? You can already go out and buy a pro controller, but also you can go and get the hard drive, so you can be all fancy like the hardcore audience. But if you're just a casual gamer, just buy the system and you can go. So it's like they really have the best of both worlds, because it can go hardcore and it can go casual. I think all that we have to wait now for is the online modes. If those come out and they're bad, then I'll be a little disappointed. But I mean, the only way they're going to make up for it is if you see a game like Borderlands 2 being ported over. That would be incredible with that controller. Just incredible, because all of these games nowadays have such huge inventories, like these RPGs and these, Skyrim and everything. Even Zelda's going to benefit from this. But when you're playing a game like Darksiders 2 and you want to switch weapons, or you want to customize weapons, or even like, say, Resident Evil 6, imagine being able to like make the potions with the herbs on the screen live while you're actually playing the game, opposed to going to a menu. I think it brings a new aspect to the game, especially I actually played Zombie U. And what's unique about that game is there's an element of horror in that game that you've never experienced in sort of a survival horror game. And it's that when you're actually looking through your pack, which they called a bug pack or something like that, sort of your knapsack in that game, you're actually on screen, like on the television screen, it shows your character looking down at the controller while you're looking at the actual controller. And what's so scary is what you kind of don't realize is you think it's sort of like a pause menu and you're looking through an inventory, but it's live, so zombies can still attack you. So it's almost like real life. So say I'm like running around with you guys and we're getting attacked by zombies, and I have to go into my bag and get like some sort of like medicine for one of you. It's like real life. You actually have to look into it quick, grab things, and get out of it quick, because if you don't, it's just eerie. There's like things walking around, sounds that can pop out from anywhere. That's the sort of thing that the system needs right away. A game that uses the features like you've never seen before. So I can already see that Zombie U is definitely going to be scary, especially if you're playing at loud surround sound and all that, because there's no time, there's no pause menu. So it's just you versus the zombies and how long you can survive. So when I did play it, however, I didn't get that much of the atmosphere of the game, because I think what was it? Batman Arkham City was next to me and it was like blaring louder than Zombie U, so all I could hear was Batman. But I definitely could tell that Zombie U, they did something right here. It's not. I don't think it'll be like it'll blow people away, but I definitely think it's a really good start.
Yeah, that looks cool. Is it similar to DayZ? Like that type of?
I'd say it's like DayZ, but on a much smaller scale. It's not like it's not as realistic, obviously. And lots of people don't realize that Zombie U is a paranormal game. It's not necessarily a zombie game, and then they called it sort of Zombie U just because of the zombies. But there's also ghosts and like electricity ghosts and weird things going on in the game. So it really is survivor horror. Like, it's not just zombies and that's it. It's like ghosts that come through walls and scary shit with like amazing sound effects. So it's not what you would really expect from a zombie game. But overall, I'm super excited for it to actually sit down and be able to play it and like experience it. So in terms of it being like DayZ, it kind of is like that, but it's hard to explain. It's not necessarily exactly like that. It's sort of more of you're in a building or you're outside and you have to get from point A to point B. It's not free roaming.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it sounds cool though.
It's definitely going to be awesome online. I hope the online mode has some sort of ability to see who's like the best survival person in the world, like survivor in the world. That would be cool to see like who's lasted the longest in one sitting. Because you got to remember, there's no save points. There's nothing. There's like, you just play it, and if you fall asleep, that's it. You're dead. Like there's safe rooms where you can get into, but like there's no saving. I don't think so. That's what's exciting about this.
So it's more like an arcade game?
Yeah, I think there's going to be two modes. There's going to be the arcade version where it's like, see how long you can actually survive, like world records type stuff. But there also is a campaign with save rooms where you go into them and fall asleep on the bed and you're okay. So but you got to admit, it's sort of unique. I've never seen anything like that on Xbox or PlayStation.
So it's like a glorified Black Ops, like Nazi zombies, right?
Well,
is that a little bit more, not as much like action?
No,
I guess,
it's not actiony. I wouldn't say it doesn't have that much action in it. It's more suspenseful. There's definitely a lot of moments where you're in very creepy settings. For instance, in the demo, you go through a nursery, and there's like dolls on the floor and all just weird finger paintings and just eerie doors opening and stuff. And what's really cool is also the doors, you actually have to open and close them, because if you go into a room and just for some dumb reason forget to close the door, then a zombie can literally just come running right through that door and get you. And it actually gets you scared. It's like, oh shit, I forgot the door. And they showed it in the demo, but demo video. But there's also another cool feature where you go up to a door and you can actually hack the door with like a keypad. And what's unique about that too is like it goes down to the screen in your hand, and you actually have to push the keys into the screen. And while you're doing that, zombies are like literally right behind you. So if you mess up, you're dead. So it's like it's intense. It gets very intense.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. That's probably my most type Wii U game, or at least my most type exclusive.
It kind of reminded me of the beginning of Resident Evil 4 when you're walking around the town. That sort of eerie feeling you had of like you have no idea what's going on. And it also kind of reminded me of what's that game? I lost it. Maybe I'll come up with it after, but it really is a very unique experience. But again, I hope the online modes are good for this system, or we're going to be let down.
Yeah, I think that the online is going to be, at least for like the Wii U in general, I think it's going to be pretty good because coming off like the 3DS, I would say I'm satisfied with it. You know, I play Kid Icarus a lot online, and so far I haven't had any really negative experiences. As long as they have some type of like username system instead of friend codes, I
Oh yeah.
think I'll be fine. I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I have to admit, I don't know, I'm getting older, and I don't feel like I need to talk the whole time while I'm playing. I kind of feel like I like to play online with people, know that they're actual real people, but I don't really use my headset that much. So
Neither do I.
yeah, voice chat's not necessarily a huge thing for me unless I'm playing with like really close friends. I do not like going online anymore if it's with the headset, if it's like just a random game, because for the most part it's just trash talk, and I just never. I
That
just
was
hate.
me 3 years ago.
Yeah, I hate it. So I just ignore it. So when I play Borderlands 2 online, no headset, don't need it.
Yeah. Actually, when I usually use Skype instead of using the actual Xbox interface for when I
Yeah.
communicate online, which is so it's not a really huge deal for me.
Mhm.
So pretty
I have
excited for that.
I have a quick thing to say about Zombie U. You were talking about the online,
Mhm.
but I remember I mentioned this in a recent episode, but I'm not sure exactly what it was. I just remember hearing, I don't know if it was a rumor or not, but they said that Zombie U is going to be split screen co-op only, or maybe it was just, I'm not sure what it was that I heard.
I think that split screen co-op could happen because one person uses the controller and the other person uses the pro controller. Um, I mean, I don't think there's going to be an actual online mode where you fight against each other because
Oh yeah.
it's not that type of game. But I think there'll be like an online scoreboard is more of what I
Oh
was
yeah.
talking about, and like the ability to like leave clues behind, like with the Me universe or whatever the hell they call that thing.
Miiverse.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the
Yeah.
Meverse, and um, yeah, because co-op online would be probably fun, but you can do it with. What's amazing is you probably saw the Black Ops 2 video preview where you can play co-op on one system, but with two televisions technically. The
Yeah.
uh, the
Yeah.
television in front of you and the controller in your hand. So that right there is another reason why Wii U is awesome. I don't have
Yeah.
to have like online to play. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that reminds me of the Tingle tuner from Wind Waker. Just how
Yeah.
you can like kind of communicate with each other. That'd
Hmm.
be cool if they did something even like that with maybe even the next Zelda. So yeah,
Hmm.
just
Oh,
these little things they can
yeah.
do.
I think the
Yeah.
next Zelda is going to be ridiculous.
Oh, I know. I'm very well.
Hmm.
I don't want to hype myself up too much because then I'm sure I'll get disappointed.
Mhm.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'll just say that.
Hmm.
But
All
let's see.
right.
Any well, last thing I
Any...
wanted to ask you,
Oh
Jason.
jeez.
One more thing. Have you played New Super Mario Bros. U?
Yeah, I did. I
Is
got to play that. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the art style for like the environments, is it very similar to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, or is it more like its own thing? Because I remember seeing the trailer and like it almost looked like Mario was running around on like a painting, I thought. Am I wrong by
It's
saying that or
well, no, not necessarily. I think what you're experiencing is just the fact that it's in HD for once.
yeah.
Um, it is exactly same art style as the last one,
Mm-hmm.
and what was amazing is when you start playing it, you realize that it's in HD, like it's actual Mario in HD for once. And it's the problem though is it's Mario in HD, but it's not like Super Mario Galaxy. You know what I mean? It's just like a simple side-scrolling Mario game, but graphically, I mean, it's where Nintendo wants to be. If they wanted to make a fancy Mario, they wouldn't do it with that game. They'll do it with Super Mario Galaxy 3 or whatever they do next. You know what I mean? And people complaining like, "Oh, the Mario doesn't." Well, it doesn't look like that because it isn't one of those games. It's not meant to be like the Mario Showcase game. It's meant to be the Mario Family game. So, I think people just get. I think most people are just upset that Mario game that's in full like 1080p 3D world platformer hasn't come out yet. I think people are just kind of sick of the side scrolling, but I have to admit it was when you play it with four other players and the fifth person is like the touchscreen, it's so much fun. It's ridiculous. Like it's playing Mario in a different way you've never played it.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for that too. I thought it looked a lot more like Super Mario World. So
actually, yeah. Well, what I noticed was there's a lot of like callbacks to certain things. They've been doing it lately, like in what was it? A new Super Mario Brothers for the 3DS, the new one. Yeah, part 2. I noticed there was a ton of callbacks to Super Mario 3. A lot of like the villains, a lot of the characters that are in the background, the little plants. Remember those like white plants from Super Mario 3?
Yeah.
With the green bottoms that sort of bit you. Those guys make a return. It really reminded me of Part 3. And I grew up on Part 3, so I remember it inside out. So it was exciting to see that. And I think that the Mario game that comes out in the Wii U that's going to blow us away will definitely be the next 3D one. And I think it'll be a lot like playing a Pixar game. And I also hope that they take it up a notch in terms of story.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see, you know, the typical Mario story is always the princess goes missing, let's go get her. What if they took it to the next step, you know what I mean, and actually had a little bit more of a story, almost like Super Mario Sunshine had not a huge story, but it had a better story than usual about the town. You had to go clean it up, and there was a lot more going on. But to see, I can't wait until the day we see like a full rendered 1080p Super Mario, like just platformer. Even if I'd be happy if they just re-release games for like the first month. I don't even care. You know what I mean? Like
I hope they do that.
I pray to God that they do that. Like if we can get Ocarina of Time in just like an updated form until the next just until the next Zelda on the system though, like with the controller, I'd love it. It'd be amazing. Or like just picture like an F-Zero game in full 1080p. Which is coming for sure, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be their sort of flagship downloadable game. I think that it's not going to come out on disc. It's just going to be downloadable only, and it'll be like a couple of tracks, a couple of racers, and then they'll add on to it as it goes along. And I think that'll be their sort of like, hey, look what we can do online game. Which I'm super excited for too.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they re-release GameCube games in like HD with achievements.
It'd be amazing.
That's my dream. Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Wind Waker in HD, F-Zero GX in HD, that would be like insane. So
F-Zero GX looks incredible still to this day. Imagine in just up into HD, it would look incredible too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the Wii U. All right, so Zach, where are we going next? Or Jay, do you have anything else to say about it?
No, that's it, man. I blab on forever.
Okay.
All right.
Nintendo Talk.
Nintendo Talk. Cole, what is your Nintendo Talk game? You got to follow that up.
My Nintendo Talk thing. Well, with all this Wii U talk, I forgot what it was.
Exactly.
No, but okay, I got it. It is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, which was a launch title for the GameCube. Now, have any of you played this?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Really?
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh.
I've heard it's an a must play for the GameCube, and but I still haven't played it.
Yeah, it definitely is. It basically the first thing you'll notice in terms of graphics, it's one of the best looking games on the system, and it just it just looks fantastic. The gameplay, I would almost say it's similar to Star Fox Assault almost, where obviously there's the free roaming aircrafts and obviously the on how do I describe this? I don't know, like the on foot gameplay where you use your lightsaber and stuff, how you kind of wander around. I don't know. It's just a very fun game to play. In my opinion, it's the best Star Wars game ever made, and I hope that would actually be cool. Another game to make remake in HD or re-release HD would be that game. So yeah, that's kind of my game, I guess. I don't feel like I elaborated on it enough, but I don't know how to. So
Nice.
yeah,
All right.
that's
Mine was kind of a random one I just pulled out when I was trying to think of something. But obviously, it's a game I love, and that's Dragon Quest IX on the DS. And obviously, it's pretty well known, and it's been praised left and right. But I continue that praise. I still have to beat it. I have a bad habit of going really far in games and then stopping. But I played so many hours of that. Even if you look at my 3DS, like I was playing it for a while on my DS, and then I kind of transitioned over to the 3DS, and that's got a ton of gameplay on it now. And that's been like the #1 highest gameplay in the activity log for a while. And yeah, it's just tons of fun. It's a classic turn-based RPG, but it just works really well for kind of a modern. It brought in a lot of other people that wouldn't usually play that kind of game. It did a lot of really cool things with the multiplayer. It was really seamless when you're right next to each other. How you can just play, you pop right in and out, even though you obviously have to go to a certain spot to do it. But I'm pretty sure there wasn't like Wi-Fi online Wi-Fi for it. I think it was just local. So that would have been nice to have a huge online on it, which is obviously something they need to improve on a lot of their stuff. But yeah, just awesome stuff. The story was surprisingly very intriguing. Like basically it's one big story which isn't that elaborate, but then there's tiny little stories of from just everyday lives, and you meet up with tons of different people and cultures, which really adds up. And uh, one thing I kind of don't like about it, which I think is the case with every Dragon Quest game for the most part, is how kind of impersonal the characters are. Because I kind of you can just create whatever you want, and on some degree it's cool that you can customize and all that, but I kind of like main character you can relate to and everything, not one that really doesn't have a personality at all. That's one downside to it, I'd say, which no one really has complained about much. But um yeah, and then your partners, you just kind of create them randomly and hire them to join you. So yeah. um But the one thing I really do like about the customization is that unlike a lot of RPGs where you equip stuff that helps your defense and stuff like that, when you equip different clothing items that usually wouldn't show up, it actually changes that on the outside of your character as well, so you can actually see the changes, which is something that's always really annoyed me with other games where you'd put on like ruby necklace or some gold-plated armor, and it would just kind of act as a stat boost and wouldn't do much else. But it's really cool how they did it in that game. So that's Dragon Quest IX.
nice, nice.
Right. So that,
Robot Zach.
that's pretty much it for the podcast. I don't have
Ass.
really
Robot Zach.
robot.
Yeah, it's done now, but it's over now. But
Okay.
yep.
But yeah, I was saying we don't have a trivia battle this time. I wasn't able to put that together, but we may or may not have it next time. I'm still working on a new segment. I may or may not do. I'm trying to change it to work better, but it should be pretty fun, I think. And yeah.
Now that you left him hanging, Jay, do you have a Nintendo
Do you
Talk
want
game?
to close it off?
What?
No, we already went over
Oh
it.
yeah,
That's
you
the
did.
whole.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay.
Well, I think wasn't it Zombie U that you chose originally?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
totally.
So yeah, there you go, Cole.
I'm sorry.
The whole Wii U stuff we were talking about the whole time.
Wait, what console? What? PS4?
Okay.
And Robot Zach is kicking in.
Yeah, his connection has died. It sounds like.
Yeah. Here, Zach, I'll just add you again, I guess. We'll make this better. As I walk to my computer. He might be switching over to his iPhone. That's what he usually does when his connection or his audio goes to crap.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll see. Hmm.
He died.
It happens. Now, last time, you have a PlayStation Vita, right?
Hmm.
Have you tried the Skype on it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Because last time, our guest was trying it out, and it wouldn't it wouldn't work for him at all. He was trying to talk, and we couldn't hear him at all. Yeah, but let's see, where is he? It's weird.
Oh God.
Okay, I guess we're
Why?
why
It kept breaking me in and out. Like
I kept trying to add you again. Your audio is
I hate
terrible.
when it does that.
Hmm.
Is it good now?
Oh yeah, you sound fine.
It keeps fluctuating. I hate when it does that. My stupid internet. It breaks off and then online again. It wasn't doing that the whole time, but now at the end it is.
Hmm. Okay, so at least it didn't happen like in the middle of the main topic or anything. At
Yeah.
least it was at the very end. So guess we're just about to close this thing off.
Yeah, Jay, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at 3kb.ca. And if you just go to YouTube and search 3KB, I'm pretty sure that we pop up.
I'm gonna test
Nice.
that out right now.
Yeah, we're the first thing that pops up. The second thing, don't click it. I have no idea what that is.
Let me see.
It's like some weird language. I have no idea what that is. So, yeah,
I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing this weird language.
that's probably good.
Oh, 3KB rap fabric.
Yeah. Let me.
You can
Yeah.
translate it.
Yeah, I did. It still says. I. I have no idea what that is.
Review Tech USA is popping up too, saying vote for the 3KB dog.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, he came in 6th place.
Nice. Well deserved 6th place. Deserved higher, but you know.
Yeah. There was another contest that we almost put our dog into, but we didn't want the fans to go ape shit again. So. Another contest. Oh, we have to click one button to help you win. Oh, we don't want to support. Anyways.
Cole, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at ColeAnnoyingNav, PC Gaming Forum, Annoying Navi. That's about it. YouTube, I have a channel, but I don't post any videos, so it's
You don't.
there's not a real reason to subscribe to me.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at ZRPG, PC Gamer Forum Pokemon ZRPG, YouTube ZRPG Revamped, Backloggery Pokemon ZRPG, and that's pretty much it.
The dog goes woof, 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 woof. The cow goes moo, 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 moo. The duck goes quack, 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 quack. And the owl says tweet, tweet.
Really?
Cat goes meow, meow, meow. The bird goes tweet, 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 tweet. The pig goes oink, 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 oink. And the little mouse says squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
That's for Botsa there.
I apologize for that,
soothing
Jay.
animal voice.
No.
That's the funniest lead out I've ever heard.
Exactly, but Cole does not want to agree to end the episode with that audio clip in the background, so I have to do it myself.
That's funny.
See, everyone who's heard it, except for you, Cole, has loved this clip.
And I'm gonna keep my opinions myself then.
Well, now they're out, so there's no way you can...
I'm not gonna keep my opinions myself then.
Okay. Hold
So,
on.
yep. Zach.
Wait,
I think this is what?
How come you never did your segment the whole time?
What?
How come you never did your segment the whole time?
I'm not up to it tonight. I'm not up for it.
Are you kidding me? We can't both
What?
not do our segments. That's not allowed.
Well, I guess I have.
We can't both not do our segments. That's not allowed. And we still managed to get the normal podcast length up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jay, there's some good conversation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Yep. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was a lot of fun.
Cool. So let me know when it's up, and I'll spread it around.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it should be up not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. It's weird because we're actually recording before the episode before this is even posted. It should be posted tomorrow. And then
cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, yeah, let me know on Twitter.
All right.
And I'll, like I said, I'll get it all around.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. Oh, God, my back. All right.
See you guys.
All right, thanks.